Hi, everyone. Today we're going to learn about story mapping, which is a really fun activity that allows you to create presentations that center around a map that you've created. So I have my students in grade 9 make a story map on the oil sands. So the first step is to get into the story mapping app. So if you just click on this little grid up here, somewhere in here, it won't be in the same spot for everyone, but there's the story map icon. I think the students tends to be a little bit further down. Um, but you click on story maps and it'll look different for you because it's your first time getting in here. But essentially, these are all the story maps that I have. And if I want to create a new story, I just click on this little button. And typically, you're just going to simply start from scratch. So it starts off with a title. So, for instance, the four W's of the oil sands. You know, oops, BC1D. And if I want to spruce this up, I could add an image. So, for instance, well, you know what? I'll worry about that a little bit later on. Let's get into to actually creating the story. So down here, you'll see the little plus button, and it allows you to add all sorts of different things here. We can add text, we can add buttons, and down here is the fun stuff, which is the slideshow or the sidecar. I quite like the sidecar because what it does is it'll put text right beside the map. So typically when we're creating a story map, this is the feature that we use. So I'm going to click on Sidecar, and it doesn't matter whether I use the dock panel, so the panel is always on that side, or whether I have a floating panel that can be on either side. I'm just going to pick the floating one just for interest's sake. So once I'm in here, you'll see down at the bottom, this will show me all of the slides that are within my sidecar. And up here, I call this the main stage, and this is sort of the side stage. The main stage is typically where you're going to put your map. So if I click on Add Media and I go Add Map, I need to go find a map that is useful from the maps that I've created. So, I've got a whole bunch of these oil sands ones here because I showed my students multiple times how to make it. So here we go. So the first slide that I want to have is just going to show where the oil sands are located and what province they're found in. So you can see here are the names of the layers that I'm working with. And if I click on the little eye, it's going to turn off a layer or turn it on. So I want the province and territories turned on, and I want the oil wells turned on. And this layer is a little fussy in that you'll only be able to see the oil wells for the oil sands when you zoom in a little bit. So there we go. We can see them. And if I'm happy with where it's centered, then I can click on Place Map. And it'll build it right here. So, for instance, here I might say and I can change the features here by simply clicking on, highlighting it and then changing it to a heading or a subheading to make it a little bit, pop off the page. So if I want to create another slide, so I now want to show which physiographic region it's found in, I just click on the little plus down here to create a new slide. And I'm going to go grab the same map again. And this time I will have the physiographic regions turned on so we can see that the oil sands are in the interior plains. And then finally, I'm going to create one more slide, and it's going to show which treaties are applicable for the area. So I'm just going to add map. And finally, now I've got my trees. Should have different colors here, but that's okay. So what does this look like when we get into preview mode? So this is sort of the edit mode. And if I click on preview, it's going to show you, all right, there's my title. And as I scroll down, you'll see that the first map comes up and the panel on the side just scrolls through it. It changes the map. And it's got that real professional look to it. So if I want to get out of this preview mode, just click on X. Now, if I'm not happy with the arrangement of the slides, I can simply click on a slide and drag it to reorder the slides. Or I can click on an individual slide, click on the three little dots, and I can either duplicate it or delete it if there's some sort of problem with it. So this is how you get a map into your story map. And I'll just show you one other thing, the design at the top here. We can change it so that the background is all black, for instance, or blue, whatever suits your fancy. We can change the title so that it's going to be one big picture in the background. And I'll show you in the next video how to put images into your story map.